Well, good morning, everybody. I know not everyone has signed on yet, but that's okay. You better watch the rebroadcast here in a little while. But I just want to come to you today and give you some encouraging and exciting news. I have been so proud of our church in these last 8 weeks. You know, they have been unprecedented times, but I believe that our church has risen, and I appreciate so much of watching people stand up and fill the gap, and they're making contacts and calls and checking on people, and for those who've been doing that, man, I'm very grateful and thankful for that. You truly are the hands and feet of Jesus. And so this morning, what I wanted to do was be able to come to you and offer you the plan that we have, the phased plan to be able to reopen our doors, to be able to have worship again indoors. And so I'm excited today. Our staff has met. We've been praying over how God would want us to respond to this. And so I believe and I feel confident with what God has given us. And so to kind of give you an idea, we're going to have a letter going out to our members. And if you don't receive a letter by next week, I encourage you to let the church office know so we make sure that we have your information correct. Later today, we'll also, maybe even tomorrow, we're going to try to post like cliff notes of what we're going to do, just so it's kind of easier to see and understand what we're going to do. So here's kind of what we're going to be facing for the month of May. We're going to be aiming for having drive-in worship. This Sunday particularly, we will start at 10 a.m., not 10:45. If you get here at 10:45, we're going to be wrapping things up. So don't miss that. Be here at 10 o'clock. For the start of the service. I would encourage you to get here around 9 o'clock. We'll begin parking around 9, and then 10 o'clock the service starts, and that will be our drive-in worship time. It'll be at 10 o'clock. Before the heat of the day gets here, we'll try to get that in. And I'm so thankful for those who worked so hard before to put that on. If you're able to come, it was a phenomenal blessing. And it did me so good to be able to see so many of you. So I'm hoping that for this one, we'll be able to have even more folks come participate, and we'll get to see each other. And thankfully, some of the restrictions have been reduced some. So now you can get out of your vehicle if you'd want to do that. I encourage you, whatever is most comfortable. We will have the FM transmitter so you can listen to it in your car, both the music and the sermon portion, so you'll be able to hear very well. It worked out nicely last time. And so that'll be for the month of May. And then the first Sunday in June, we're aiming, that's June the 7th, we're aiming for that day to have a drive-in service, but also we're going to try to have a picnic to follow. So on that day, we encourage you to bring your lawn chairs. You can sit out by your vehicles. Bring something, a lunch to eat afterwards. Maybe some sandwiches, or maybe you want to grill out the night before and just have it ready and come. And make sure you have church-approved beverage in your coolers as you come. Maybe I need to come by and check out what you got in there. But we just want to make it, listen, we're longing for fellowship. And I believe that this is one of the safest ways that we can do this now as we phase back into what we're longing for is to be right in here. And so that's not too far away. So our two-phased approach is going to be this. We'll begin with our drive-in worship for the month of May and June on June the 7th. And then starting June the 14th, the second Sunday in June, we are aiming, as long as everything stays nice and we're not trending upward anymore with numbers, but we're in a good position. Our plan is to have multiple services on June the 14th right in here. That's our plan. And as we do so, we'll come out with more information about what that looks like, how we're going to do that, but also know that we will be sanitizing and making sure that we're disinfecting in between services for all the high-touch areas. Our campus will be limited on where you can go. It'll be worship only, right? Starting June the 14th, it's worship only. And then phase 2 for us is we'll be working towards bringing Sunday school back on campus, and also our Wednesday night programming, we'll bring that back on campus, and that's probably going to be tentatively looking towards the fall. And maybe we get better news and we'll start back even sooner. But that's kind of the tentative plan. We want you to know that. We want you to be informed. And I would love if you could help others get in the know about what we're going to do in our plan. You know, this is our plan that we're going to step forward with and be able to work our way back to worshiping together. And I think the drive-in is a great opportunity for us. And I also believe that that's going to set the stage for us to be able to meet right back in here. I'm longing, listen, I don't know about you, but I'm longing to hear your voices singing in unison together to the Lord. You know, there is something that's powerful about that. It's scriptural, it is spiritual, and man, it does our bones good. And so I'm longing for that time. And listen, don't ever hesitate. If you have a need, let me know. Let the church know. Let us know so we can help meet the needs in your life. That's what we're here for. We're here for each other. So I also want to encourage you to do that. I feel like that our plan is both safe. I believe it is responsible. I believe it is thought out very well. We've been thinking for quite a while about what to do. I know you heard the news of the previous announcement by Governor Ivey that the churches were open. That's yes and no. And so our facilities are going to remain closed for the month of May and also for the month of June. We want to do our very best to keep everyone healthy and also to keep our facilities clean and sanitary. And then as we get closer to that time, we will let you know when we'll be able to open everything back up to the public, where we feel like it is safe for everyone. And so also know another item of interest is Vacation Bible School. We're just going to postpone it. Maybe to the fall. And if things work out perfectly, we're going to really try to aim and shoot for having Vacation Bible School maybe a week or two before school starts, maybe around that time frame, as people come back off of their vacations, and hopefully by then we can do all that kind of stuff with more liberty. But that's the kind of the tentative game plan, so just know that going into it. If you got any questions for us, just let us know. And one other thing I would like to mention too is youth worship. It will be starting back this Sunday. What they're going to do is they're just going to meet outside. And so that way they have plenty of room to have the practice to social distancing, but also be able to come back together. Know that we love you, we care for you, and we're aiming for our other programs that we have. Like Wednesday night supper. When we bring Wednesday nights back, we may not bring supper back just yet. We'll just evaluate it and see how it goes. I don't think there's anything wrong with just being conservative and also being thoughtful and prayerful about those things. There's many other things that I would like to say, but just for the brevity of it all, that's kind of the big rocks of what we're going to talk about. And don't forget, this Sunday at 10 a.m., our service starts. What time? 10 a.m. It starts at 10 o'clock. Get here at 9 o'clock. We'll park you. We'll get you ready and get you ready for a beautiful time of worship. The weather's going to be great that day. It's going to start heating up a little bit, so we want to move it earlier at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. That's what time we're going to start. I can't wait to see you here. I'm so looking forward to it. May God bless you, and may God's face shine upon you.